This is Live News 16, and you're watching Breaking News with Janet MacArthur. I'm Mark Albert, and this is today's headline: Did Canada just block US access to Alaska? Janet MacArthur has the details.
Good evening and welcome to Live News 16. I'm Janet MacArthur, bringing you the latest developments from around the world. Tonight we turn our focus to a geopolitical showdown brewing between the United States and Canada, a conflict that could have dramatic consequences for Alaska's access to the rest of the U.S. When former President Donald Trump imposed tariffs on Canada, he may have expected some resistance, but what he likely didn't see coming was Canada fighting back in a way that could fundamentally change Alaska's future. But how did we get here? And could Canada really make Alaska feel less American? Let's break it all down. Alaska is one of the largest and most remote U.S. states, spanning over 663,000 square miles of mountains, tundra, and coastline. But unlike any other state, Alaska is not physically connected to the United States. Instead, it is separated by Canada, which plays a critical role in linking Alaska to the rest of the U.S. To travel by land from Alaska to the U.S., you must pass through Canada. Whether by road, rail, or even sea, there is no escaping Canada's geographic dominance over Alaska's supply chains. Even air travel is impacted. Most flights to and from Alaska cross through Canadian airspace. For decades, this arrangement has worked without issue. But now, that could all be changing. In response to Trump's tariffs, Canada has been exploring ways to hit back, and British Columbia has taken center stage. The province, which shares a major border with Alaska, is now considering a move that could significantly increase transportation costs for American businesses. British Columbia's Premier David Abey has proposed imposing tolls on commercial trucks traveling through the province on their way to Alaska. A move like this could increase the cost of goods for Alaskans, making basic necessities more expensive, disrupt crucial supply chains, impacting everything from food to fuel, strain U.S.-Canada relations, escalating economic tensions between the two countries. These tolls would be a direct response to Trump's trade policies, and while they haven't yet been implemented, they send a clear message: Canada will not absorb economic blows without retaliating. But here's where things get complicated. A bilateral treaty between the U.S. and Canada, signed in 1977, explicitly prohibits Canada from imposing tolls on the Alaska Highway. The primary land route connecting Alaska to the rest of the U.S. Article 2 of this treaty states Canada will not impose any highway toll or permit any such toll to be charged for the use of such highways by vehicles or persons. So, could British Columbia's proposal be a legal nightmare? Absolutely. If implemented, the tolls could spark a major legal battle, and Canada may have to find a workaround or loophole to make them stick. But with tensions rising, some Canadians believe this fight is worth having. What happens if Canada wants to push even harder? Here's a chilling scenario. Canada could theoretically block access to Alaska altogether. How? Shutting down the Alaska Highway, since 80% of the highway runs through Canada. Closing it would cut off Alaska's primary land link to the U.S., blocking marine access. Alaska's Inside Passage is a key shipping route. If Canada denies U.S. access, it could cripple Alaska's economy and disrupt vital supply lines. Restricting airspace, Canada could deny overflight rights to U.S. airlines, forcing planes to take longer, more expensive routes. While these actions seem extreme, Canada has already signaled that it's willing to fight back, and some in British Columbia and Yukon are even floating ideas like banning Alaskan athletes from international sporting events. One particularly bold suggestion: a ban on Donald Trump Jr., who frequently visits Canada for big game hunting. While these measures may seem symbolic, they highlight a larger point: Canada isn't backing down. So, where does this all go from here? While Trump is no longer in office, the lingering trade tensions between the U.S. and Canada remain unresolved. For now, Canada is using economic pressure as a warning sign, but if relations continue to sour, Alaska's connection to the U.S. could become a battleground in a larger geopolitical dispute. Alaskans, U.S. lawmakers, and Canadian officials will all be watching closely as this high-stakes standoff unfolds. Canada has made its position crystal clear: it will not allow the U.S. to dictate trade terms without facing consequences. Could this lead to an unprecedented logistical crisis for Alaska, or will cooler heads prevail before tensions spiral out of control? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Canada isn't rolling over. For Live News 16, I'm Janet MacArthur. Stay tuned for more breaking updates on this story, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest news.